So, in today's lecture, we will see the types of small scale feeding. So, small scale feeding is basically classified into two types based on multipart time delay spread and based on Doppler spread. Now, based on multipart time delay spread, it has again two types, flat fading and frequency selective fading. In flat fading, it has a bandwidth of the signal less than bandwidth of channel, and second delay spread is then symbol spread. In frequency selective fading, it has bandwidth of the signal greater than bandwidth of channel and second delay spread greater than symbol spread. Again, in based on Doppler spread, there are again two types, fast fading and slow fading. So the quality of the signal transmitted through a mobile radio channel will be affected by the fading, and the amount of fading will vary depending on the channel characteristic and the nature of the transmitted signal. The relation between the transmitted signal parameters like bandwidth, symbol period and the radio channel parameters like RMS delay spread, Doppler spread will affect the transmitted signal. The different transmitted signals will undergo a different types of fading, and the type dispersion and frequency dispersion methods in mobile radio channel constitute to of four types of fading. The multipart delay spread constitute to time dispersion and frequency selective fading, while Doppler spread constitute to frequency dispersion and time selective fading. So both these mechanisms are independent of each other. The relation between the transmitted signal parameters like bandwidth, symbol period and radio channel parameters like RMS delay spread, Doppler spread will affect the transmitted signal. The different transmitted signals will undergo different types of fading. The time dispersion and frequency dispersion methods in mobile radio channel constitute to four types of fading. The multipart delay spread constitute to a time dispersion and frequency selective fading, while Doppler spread constitute to frequency dispersion and time selective fading. So both these mechanisms are independent of each other. multipath delay spread constitute to a time dispersion and frequency selective fading, while Doppler spread constitute to a frequency dispersion and time selective fading. So both these mechanisms are independent of each other. Now before going to this, we will see what is noise threshold. The values of the time dispersion parameter also depend on the noise threshold, that is the level of power below which the signal is considered as a noise. If the noise threshold is set to low, then noise will be processed as a multipath and thus causing the parameter to be higher. So the time dispersion generated because of the multipath makes a transmitted signal undergo flat or frequency selective fading. So first is flat fading. If the channel has a linear phase response over a bandwidth that is greater than the bandwidth of the transmitted signal, a constant gain, then the received signal in the mobile radio channel will observe a flat fading. At the receiver end, the spectral characteristics of the channel are preserved in flat fading. However, the signal strength of the received signal varies with time. So the gain of the channel will also vary because of the multipath. The amplitude of the received signal also changes. With the passage of the time, the received signal R of t varies in gain. However, the spectrum of the signal transmitted is preserved. In flat fading channel, the reciprocal of the reciprocal bandwidth of the transmitted signal is larger than the multipath time delay spread of the channel. The flat fading channels are also called as amplitude varying channel or narrowband channel, as the bandwidth of the applied signal is narrow when compared to the channel flat fading bandwidth. So the flat fading channels cause a deep fades. Under the design consideration of radio link, the distribution of the gain of the flat fading channel is important. So the most common amplitude distribution is rate distribution. The flat fading channels cause a deep fades, and under the design consideration of the radio link, the distribution of the gain of the flat fading channel is important, and the most common amplitude distribution is relay distribution. So this flat fading channel model assume that the channel induces an amplitude that varies in time according to the relay distribution. So there are some disadvantages of this type, that is the flat fading channels cause a deep fade, and to receive the signal with a low bit error rate, more transmitter power is needed. So first is what is delay spread or coherence bandwidth? It describes the time dispersive nature of the channel in local area, and a received signal suffers a spreading in time compared to the transmitted signal. The delay spread can range from a few hundred nanoseconds for indoor scenario up to some microsecond in urban areas. The coherence bandwidth BC translates the time dispersion into the language of the frequency domain. So it specifies the frequency range over which a channel affects the signal spectrum nearly in the same way, causing an approximately constant attenuation and linear change in phase. The RMS delay spread and coherence bandwidth are inversely proportional to each other. The range of the frequencies over which the channel can be considered a flat, that is, the channel passes all spectrum components with equal gain and linear phase. So it is a definition which depends on the RMS delay spread. The two sinusoids with frequency separation greater than BC are affected quite different by the channel. Here diagram is shown for this. So frequency correlation between the two sinusoidal is given here, and if we define the bandwidth BC as the range of the frequencies over which the frequency correlation is above 0.9, then BC is BC minus 1 by 50 raised to sigma. It is RMS delay spread. If we define coherence bandwidth as the range of frequencies over which the frequency correlation is above 0.5, then relation for this is given here, and it is called a 50% coherence bandwidth. Now example for this coherence bandwidth is given here. Then the next type is frequency selective fading. The frequency selective fading occur in received signal if the channel has a linear phase response and constant gain bandwidth that is smaller than the bandwidth of the signal being transmitted. So if the frequency selective fading, the impulse response of the channel has a multipart delay spread greater than the reciprocal bandwidth of the transmitted message waveform. The received signal will comprise a multiple versions of the transmitted signal that is attenuated and delayed in time. It results in distortion in the received signal. The frequency selective fading is a result of time dispersion of the transmitted symbol within the channel, and the channel will cause the inter-symbol interference. So it is difficult to model a frequency selective fading channel than a flat fading channel, because first is each multipath signal must be modeled, and second reason is the channel should be considered as a linear filter. So for analyzing a frequency selective small scale fading, a statistical impulse response model like the two-way relay fading model is used, and the spectrum S of f of transmitted signal has a bandwidth greater than the coherence bandwidth BC of the channel. Gain is different for different frequency component, but the channel is frequency selective. The frequency selective fading is caused by a multipart delays that exceed the symbol period of the transmitted symbol. The frequency selective fading channels are called as a wideband channels because the bandwidth of the spectrum S of t is wider than the bandwidth of the channel impulse response h of t, tau, and the gain of the channel varies with a variation in time, and the phase across the spectrum also varies, resulting in distortion in the received signal R of t. A signal will undergo a frequency selective fading if Bs is greater than Bc. So what is Bs? Bs is bandwidth and Bc is coherence bandwidth. So Doppler speed and coherence time is relation is given here. The delay spread and coherence bandwidth describe the time dispersive nature of the channel in local area, and they don't offer information about the time varying nature of the channel caused by a relative motion of the transmitter and receiver. And the Doppler spread and coherent time are the parameters which describe the time varying nature of the channel in small scale region. The time varying nature of the channel caused either by relative motion between Bs and mobile or by motions of the object in channel are categorized by Bd and Tc. So the Doppler speed means the measure of the spectral broadening caused by the motion. We know how to compute the Doppler shift, that is Fd. So Doppler spread Bd is defined as the maximum Doppler shift, that is Fm equal to V by lambda. If Tx signal bandwidth Bs is large such that the Bs is greater than Bd, then the effect of Doppler spread are not important. So the Doppler spread is only important for low LBS, that is data rate applications, for example paging, slow fading channel. Coherence time, it is a time duration over which the channel impulse response is essentially invariant. If the symbol period of the baseband signal, that is the reciprocal of the baseband signal bandwidth, is greater the coherence time, then the signal will distort since channel will change during the transmission of the signal. So coherence time is defined as Tc nearly equal to 1 by Fm. Coherence time is also defined as by using this equation, that is Tc is nearly equal to 0.423 divided by Fm. The coherence time definition implies that the two signals arriving with a time separation greater than Tc are affected differently by the channel. So here diagram for the flat fading and equation for this is shown here. Then we have already seen the frequency selective fading also. Diagram for this and equation for this is shown here. Then the small scale fading effect, then next is the fast fading. A channel can be grouped as a fast fading channel or slow fading channel depending on how quickly the transmitted baseband signal changes compared to the rate of change of channel. In a fast fading channel, the impulse response of the channel changes quickly within the symbol duration. It indicates that the coherence time of the channel is smaller than the symbol time period of the transmitted signal. It leads to the frequency dispersion or time selective fading. Because of the Doppler study, the received signal will be distorted. So rate of change of the channel characteristics is larger than the rate of change of transmitted signal, and the channel changes during a symbol period. The channel changes because of the receiver motion. The coherence time of the channel is smaller than the symbol period of the transmitted signal. Occurs when Bs is less than Bd and Ts is greater than Tc. So, the coherence time of the channel is smaller than the symbol period of the transmitted signal. So, signal undergoes fast fading if Ts is greater than Tc and Ps is less than Bd. When a radio channel is specified as a slow or fast fading channel, it does not specify whether channel is flat fading or frequency selective. So, for a flat fading channel, the impulse response is approximated to a delta function. Hence, the amplitude of delta function. So for a flat fading channel, the impulse response is approximated to a delta function. Hence, the amplitude of the delta function varies faster than the rate of transmitted baseband signal. The amplitude, phase and time delays, that is, one of the multipath components for frequency selective fast fading channel, is faster than the rate of change of transmitted signal. Fast fading is observed particularly for very low data rate. Next type is slow fading. Next type is slow fading. So for a slow fading channel, the impulse response of the channel varies at a rate slower than the transmitted baseband signal S of t. The rate of change of the channel characteristic is much smaller than the rate of change of transmitted signal. So the slow fading channel is assumed to be a static. In frequency domain, the Doppler spread of the channel is very less than the bandwidth of the baseband signal. Hence, a signal undergoes a slow fading if Ts is less than Tc and Bs is greater than Bd. Now what is Ts? Ts is symbol period, Tc is coherence bandwidth, Bs is bandwidth of the signal and Bd is Doppler spread. So the velocity of the mobile and the baseband signaling determine whether the signal undergoes a slow fading or fast fading. So here the diagram is drawn, which this diagram shows the small scaling fading effect due to the Doppler spread. So the first diagram is the symbol period and the second one is the baseband signal bandwidth. It consists of transmitted symbol period in first diagram, transmitted symbol period on x-axis and symbol period of the transmitting signal on y-axis. It has 4 quadrants: fast, flat, slow, flat, fast, frequency selective slow and frequency selective fast. This diagram shows the symbol period, that is the signal as a function of symbol period, and the second diagram is on x-axis the transmitted baseband signal bandwidth and on y-axis transmitted baseband signal bandwidth. So it again has 4 quadrants: frequency selective fast fading, frequency selective slow fading, flat fast and flat slow. So this diagram shows the types of the fading experienced by a signal as a function of baseband signal bandwidth. Next point is fading distributions. So fading distribution describes how the received signal amplitude changes with time. So we have to remember here that the received signal is the combination of multiple signals arriving from different directions, phases and amplitude. With the received signal, we mean the baseband signal, namely the envelope of the received signal. Equation for this is given here. It is a statistical characterization of multipath fading. There are two distributions: Rayleigh fading and Raisen fading. So these distributions describe the received signal envelope distribution for the channel where all the components are non-LOS. Now non-LOS means what? There is no line of sight component. And it describes the received signal envelope distribution for channels where one of the multipath components is LOS component. Now there is one LOS, that is one line of sight component. So this diagram shows for the Rayleigh fading. This distribution has the probability density function, that is PDF, given by the equation PR equal to R by sigma square and 0 for different conditions. Now sigma square is the time average power of the received signal before envelope detection, and sigma is the RMS value of the received voltage signal before envelope detection. Now equation for this distribution is given here, graph. Now Raisen distribution, when there is a stationary, that is non-fading LOS, that is line of sight signal present, then the envelope distribution is Raisen. This distribution degenerates to Rayleigh when the dominant component fades away, and the equation for all the function for this and diagram is given here. So this is all about multipath, small scale fading and multipath. Thank you.